Urban to the Cleveland Browns, is that a pipe dream for all the Ohio fans out there? Albert, what about that?
I don't think Urban's going to go to a place. See, and maybe it's a heartstrings thing for him. I think one of the reasons why Urban wouldn't take a job outside of a blue blood job in college is I don't think he could. I just don't think he'd want to go through a rebuild, and I don't know that he can handle it. I mean, we've seen what 1 or 2 losses did to him a year at Ohio State. We saw what losing a game or two a year would do to him at Florida. I just think that I think Urban's of a mind to listen, and will listen if NFL teams call. I think if he's going to go back at the college level, it's going to have to be at a place where he feels like he can go 11-1 or 10-2 every single year, and compete for national championships every single year. And if he goes to an NFL team, I think it's going to have two things. I think one, it's going to have to be, a flagship franchise, and number two, I think it's going to have to be, again, a place where he thinks he can win quickly and win consistently. And so I don't know whether or not he's done coaching, but I do think, but I can tell you that my belief is that he'll listen if NFL teams call, and it's going to have to be the absolute right type of place. Which I would tell you right now, I think Dallas would be more of a possibility for him than Cleveland would be.
But what about the opinion or the possibility of having on your resume, I took Ohio State and put them on a pedestal with the rest of the top elite programs in college football, and you can't say turned it around.
And turned Cleveland.
But and then do the same thing for Cleveland, for the Browns, Albert. Forget it.
The other guy who did that was?
Go for it.
Paul Brown.
Yeah. Right? That's what you're talking about. Yes, right. That he took the Cleveland Browns to where they needed to go and then created the Bengals, right?
Paul Brown won a national championship at Ohio State,
right,
and then went to Cleveland and created the Browns and turned them into a powerhouse. So
that's what I'm saying.
I guess from that standpoint, it makes some sense. I like I said, I know how Urban, I know how tied Urban is to the state, and maybe again it would be a heartstrings thing. And obviously he coached against Baker Mayfield twice in college, so he knows what Baker Mayfield is as a player, and maybe he feels like he could win there quickly. I think if he had any doubt about the infrastructure of a place, then I don't think he would do it. And my question would be whether or not the Cleveland Browns, who are a brand name NFL franchise, right? My question would be whether or not the Cleveland Browns could convince him that the infrastructure was in place where he could win consistently.
And so what about the Browns' job in general, based on them being 5-7, the whole T-shirt business, the crown of the helmet nonsense, the craziness? And that has, by the way, if I told you prior to the season they're 5-7, and the craziest thing that Odell would be part of was him wearing a watch during a game, right? It's not Odell. The question is, what's wrong with the Browns and what happened? And is Kitchens the guy? Where does your reporting stand on that subject?
My feeling right now would be that they are more likely to shuffle the staff than they are to make a change with the head coach, because John Dorsey was all in on this guy, and John Dorsey, I don't think John Dorsey thought that Freddie was going to be a finished product in 2019, and I think that he knows that Freddie's failure is his failure. Like, everyone in the NFL ties Freddie to him because he's the one who stuck his neck out and took a swing on the guy, and so again, this is barring things just coming completely undone over the next month. I think the likelihood would be that Freddie would be back, and there would be some structural changes to the staff. And I think one thing that could be on the table, Todd Monken, their offensive coordinator, who's really well thought of, I think it would be on the table potentially that maybe Todd Monken winds up being the play caller in 2020, and maybe Freddie becomes more of a kind of a walk-around type of head coach.
Okay.
For more of The Rich Eisen Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV for free on BR Live, or download the Rich Eisen Show app.